Hello once again, this is Earl Bryant coming at you from the New York City suburbs of Long Island, and it is time for Pearls from Earl, where it is my mission to educate, edify, and encourage excellence in every area of your life. Today's Pearl is called Making the Jubilee Effect Work for You. Several years ago, I was in Mobile, Alabama, attending a business function, and I was speaking to some local business people down there. And I got in conversation with one individual, and she mentioned to me something called the Jubilee Effect, or Jubilee, which is something that takes place down there. And I said, what's that? She said it's an annual event that happens in that area every year. And very simply, fishermen go out into the water and they don't need a fishing pole. They just take a net with them and they take a pail. And I said, well, why is that? And she said, it's because the fish practically jump into the boat. Now, I thought that was a little bit far-fetched, and I wanted to give her my best, what you talking about, Willis, kind of a expression. But I didn't say anything, I just kind of played it off. But a thought flashed through my mind. Wouldn't it be great if there actually was a way to get people to come to me and take a look at my business instead of me having to go out and gather them to myself and go talk to them and chase them around in the shopping malls and the gas stations and the parks and churches and schools and shopping centers and all these other places that I was being told I needed to go at that time. Well, I just had a brief thought about it, and it kind of slipped my mind, and I kind of sort of dismissed it, but I never really let go of it. But this whole Jubilee thing I found was kind of intriguing, so I did some research on it. And I found out that there actually is such a thing as a Jubilee event, a Jubilee phenomenon that takes place in Mobile, Alabama. Happens once a year, usually around June. And there's something that happens in the water that causes all the seafood to come to the surface and eventually gathers in great numbers along the shoreline. And I saw a video on YouTube of a gentleman who recorded this event one particular year where he's walking up and down the shore and he's showing footage of all this seafood, all this sea life that had gathered along the shoreline. And he's going up and down looking at all this fish, all this seafood, and he's just picking up shrimp with his bare hands, just gathering shrimp. Him and a buddy of his. So actually it is a real event. There's a certain phenomenon that causes them to come to the surface and gather in great numbers. And people get their license down there, and they're able to go down there with pails and buckets and just take their fill of all the seafood that they want and take it home. And I found out later on, looking at some business leaders who have great followings, are very successful, and they bring people into their business in great numbers and gather them by the dozens and by the hundreds, just like these guys on the shoreline who were gathering seafood and putting them in buckets. And it was absolutely amazing. They're like E.F. Hutton back in the day when they said in the commercial, when E.F. Hutton talks, people listen. Well, when these leaders would talk, people would flock to them in droves to hear what they had to say. They'd flock to them to join their businesses. They'd partner up with them. It's like they had the Midas touch. They could just gather people left and right. All they had to do was look in their direction, and people would come running. They'd say jump, and these people would say how high. It's like whatever they said, people would just do it. And I found that rather fascinating. So I did some research, and I found that there actually is such a thing as this Midas touch or a Jubilee effect in business, where people are charismatic, people are engaging, people are attractive in a sense, and they know how to say and do certain things to draw people to them rather than repel people from them. And they don't chase people, they do attract people, and they do it in such a way it's as if they set up shop on the side of the road of an interstate where they put themselves in position, or as a friend of mine recently said, they get themselves ahead of the event, where if you're on the interstate and you know that traffic is coming your way, You position yourself ahead of the traffic that's coming. You set up shop there. You put your exit ramp on the interstate. Your exit ramp leads to a certain highway off that ramp, and you put up signs that lead directly to your place of business, and people follow the signs and come right to you. Well, that's what these business leaders were doing, getting themselves ahead of the event, planting their flag, setting up their establishment so people could find them easily. Well, that's what these people are doing. They were basically creating their own Jubilee Effect, and they had people coming to them in great numbers, just like these fish that gathered on the shore in great numbers, and they could pick and choose whomever they wanted to do business with. And I was really fascinated by that, and I was wondering if there was a way for me to be able to create that effect for myself. And I did some research, and I found some people that are showing me how to make that possibility a reality in my own life. And the good news is you can find out how to do that for yourself as well. If you want to know more about this Jubilee Effect, I've put some information below this video that you can study and you can look at a time that's convenient for you, and you can learn more about what you can do to create this Jubilee Effect for yourself and for your business. And not only for your business, for your personal life. And you can make yourself become more attractive, more engaging, more, I'd even say popular to some degree, where you put yourself ahead of people who are likely to be interested in you and what you have to offer. And in fact, there is a famous bank robber in American history named Willie Sutton, who was asked, why is it that you rob banks? And he said, it's because that's where the money is. And you look at professional fishermen, they go out into the deep water, and you wonder why they're able to come back with such a large load of fish and a large catch of fish. It's because they go out to where the large numbers of fish are, and that's where they drop their nets, and that's where they're able to catch fish. Well, by the same token, you as a business person can put yourself ahead of the crowd of people that are looking for what you have to offer, and you can just cast your net, and you can catch those people, so to speak, and attract them to what you have to offer, and you can create your own Jubilee Effect. So like I said, you can click on the information I put below and learn how you can attract these people to you and your business. That is the pearl from Earl that I have for you today, and I hope it is indeed valuable to you, and you give it a like and a thumbs up, and you can, if you like this content, please subscribe and you can get more of it, and share this information with other people you know who can benefit from what you have received. And oh, by the way, you can check this out for 10 days for $10 if you like, and see how you can create this Jubilee Effect in your life and in your business. And if before the 10 days are up you don't believe that this is going to work for you, you just ask for your $10 back and you can get it back, no questions asked. But at the very least, you'll have the opportunity to find out how to create this Jubilee Effect and what strategies you can use to make it work for you. This has been another Pearl from Earl. It has been indeed my privilege and my honor to share this with you. And until the next time, when we gather around for another Pearl from Earl, when I hope to see you right back out there, this is Earl Bryant saying so long from the New York City suburbs of Long Island, saying take care, be well, be blessed and not stressed, and make it a very productive day. Bye for now.